in our thoughts, talking about the dreams we chase in this vast American space. The roads we walk, they're cracked and dry, still we look up at the sky with hope that never dies and tears that fill our eyes. Thunderstorms and desert plains, echoes of our joys and pains. From the heartland to the coast, it's the simple things we toast. The conversation with the Mutts, just a whisper in our thoughts, talking about the dreams we chase in this vast American space. The roads we walk, they're cracked and dry, still we look up at the sky with hope that never dies and tears that fill our eyes. We're fast American space.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Celtic Mutt, and this is a conversation with the Mutts. Tonight, I will be flying solo. Mrs. Mutt is busy working on her first week of college assignments. So tonight will be just the Mutt. Anyway, this week we will be continuing our conversation on desserts of the 50 states. I believe last week we got to number 25. So we're going to pick up where we left off. Number 26 is from the state of Montana, and the state dessert, or what appears to be the favorite dessert of the state of Montana, is the s'more. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the s'more. Apparently, due to Montana's outdoor recreational culture, that includes a lot of campfires. There are a lot of s'mores as well, and they go along with that. So only fitting, I suppose, that with their outdoor culture, the s'more would fit right in. And apparently there are variations of s'more. I was unaware of that. Generally, when I think of a s'more, I think of, the graham cracker, the piece of Hershey's regular chocolate, and marshmallow. And apparently with this one, there are, like I said, variations. Some people actually add nuts. I can't imagine trying to roast that, but apparently that is one of the variations that they discussed. Number 27 is from the state of Nebraska. And I have never heard of this. So if anybody in the chat has ever heard of a sweet corn cake, please feel free to drop me an email. Excuse me. Nicknamed the Cornhusker State, Nebraska produces over 1 billion, that's billion with a B, bushels of corn each year. And while Nebraska is known for its sweet corn ice cream, which I have never heard of until this, this dish should suit your needs. I've never heard of corn ice cream, but apparently that's They was served with this corn cake. Um, Kind of looks like uh, almost like a pound cake from the picture that I'm looking at here. And it is again served with ice cream. Uh, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if Mrs. Mudd is listening to this or not, but I've got to take my little jab. Uh, we all know that Mrs. Mudd is actually secretly not a Iowa Hawkeyes fan. She's really a Nebraska Cornhuskers fan. So, yes, I am taking that jab because she's not here to jab me in the ribs as I say it. But I'm sure when she listens to this later, if she's not already listening to it downstairs, I will hear about that comment later. So, rest assured, I'll pay for it. Number 28 is Nevada, and it is a cheesecake. It's a bisque cheesecake. I've never heard of a bisque cheesecake. Again, until there's a lot of these that I've never heard of until I started researching this. But again, this is the bisque cheesecake. It is served predominantly in Nevada. The bisque community has resided in Nevada since the 19th century. So it's no surprise that some aspects of its cuisine have become a part of the state's culture. Like this cheesecake, for example, which has a crunchy exterior that only enhances the richness of this already delicious dessert. Um, Apparently, Mrs. Mutt did not hear me make the comment about the Nebraska Cornhuskers. She was not in the room, and I wasn't sure if she was out listening on the porch while she was taking something out or not. But anyway, number 29 um, is from New Hampshire. Now, when I think of New Hampshire, I think of apple crisps because when I lived in New Hampshire, that was what everybody had when it started getting cold. Everybody made their own variation of an apple crisp. However, with that said, the actual state dessert, and it is, according to my now ex-father-in-law, actually recognized as the state dessert. It is the whoopie pie. I would have never have guessed that, but he did confirm that yes, the whoopie pie is indeed the state dessert. Uh, one theory has one theory as to why whoopie pies are popular in New Hampshire is because they are a huge phenomenon in New England. So at almost every bakery in New Hampshire, you'll find these handheld treats being sold. And I can verify, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have never been in a bakery in New Hampshire that did not have some form or variation of a whoopie pie in it. So that statement is, as far as I can tell, as far as I'm willing to vouch, very true. Having lived there myself for off and on almost 10 years. Hold on one second for me, folks. I'm having a minor issue. Oh, come on now. Hold on. Sorry, folks. This has decided it's going to really going to kick me out. Give me just one second, ladies and gents. Um, hmm. I have seemingly lost the connection for my list. It has been a comedy of errors today, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. Um, give me just one moment and we will resume. Here we are. Hold on one second for me. So, okay. And again, give me just one more second here. I gotta. The entire list disappeared on me, and I had to go back and refind it. I do apologize. I know that you're not supposed to let your audience know when there's been a mistake made or a technical glitch, but hey, what's it, what's a show without a few issues here and there? And of course, as always, I will be as transparent with you as possible. I am not a professional. I just play one on TV, as they say. Haha, that's a joke. Yes, I know. Um, give me one more second here, ladies and gents, and we will. There we are. Number 30. Sorry about that, folks. Number 30 is New Jersey, and its state dessert, or one of its favorite desserts in the state, is a crumb cake. I actually enjoy a good crumb cake with a good cup of coffee. If you walk into a New Jersey bakery, you will most likely find a crumb cake being displayed due to this scrumptious desserts this scrumptious dessert originating, there we go, in Germany, and the Garden State having a large German population. You mean like Germantown, Pennsylvania? Or no, wait, there's also a Germantown, I believe there's a Germantown, New Jersey as well. Um, if you're still unsure about trying this dessert, read what user Debbie 651, and again, this is from allrecipes.com. allrecipes.com. There we go. This is the site that I'm using. If you're still unsure about trying this dessert, she stated that it's excellent, and she loved it. So give it a try, I suppose. I will, again, as I said, vouch that it is a really good dessert with a cup of coffee on a cold day. Okay, New Mexico has. I'm going to attempt to say this. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Busquitos. If you're wanting the spelling of that, it's BISCOCHITOS. But there we go. The official state cookie of New Mexico is none other than this dessert. This star-shaped cookie is topped with cinnamon sugar, and they're delicious. They're a delicious treat that goes great with a cup of coffee. See, there we go. We're on the coffee theme, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not a coffee drinker, I'm sure that a good cup of hot cocoa will substitute nicely. Number 32 is New York. And of course, New York is going to be the cheesecake. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, New York cheesecake. From cronuts. I've never heard of this. Cronuts to bagels to pizza. The city of New York is quite the food hub. However, when it comes to desserts, the rich and creamy cheesecake seems to be the go-to dessert for most residents of the Big Apple. Now, you would have thought it would have been apple pie, right? No, it's cheesecake. And by experimenting with a cheese pie in the early 1920s, owner Reuben's Restaurant and Delicacies started this phenomenon and expanded on it at the Truff Restaurant. Uh, Arnold Reuben was able to create this delicious dessert. If you're not a cheesecake fan, look up Arnold Reuben and send him a complaint letter. Number 33 is North Carolina, and the Tar Heel State's dessert of choice is the coconut cake. I was surprised by that, to be honest. I've not, as many times as I've been to North Carolina, and I've been there a number of times, I have never seen where coconut was grown in North Carolina. Excuse me. But what they had to say about the coconut cake is as follows. If you didn't already know, coconut cake is a popular dessert throughout the South. So it's no surprise that this dessert is a hit in North Carolina. If you're not already a fan of coconut, you will be after you have tasted this cake. I have a roommate that I bet would disagree with that statement. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Little known secret: the faceless roommate does not care for coconut. So there you have it. It is the official dessert, by the way, of the state of North Carolina, which was yet another surprise to me. Number 34 is North Dakota. And in North Dakota, their dessert of choice is the crumb cake. One classic dessert that is popular in North Dakota is the crispy crumb cake cookie. It's a rolled up Norwegian cookie that has become the state dessert of North Dakota due to the large population of people with Norwegian ancestry in the state. Don't you know? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Number 35 is Ohio. And Mrs. Mutt, I don't know if you're within earshot, but what is Ohio's favorite dessert?
Buckeyes.
The Buckeye. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Ohio Buckeye. Now, you ask, what is a Buckeye? I know I did when I first heard about it. Due to an abundance of Ohio Buckeye trees growing within the state's borders.
The nut
Yes.
is poisonous.
Yes, the nut is poisonous. However, this dessert does not contain any of the nut or any extract from the nut. so it's safe to eat. But it looks like, when the way it's made, it looks like the Buckeye nut. Um, but like I was saying, due to an abundance of Ohio Buckeye trees growing within the state's borders, Ohio has rightfully earned the nickname of being the Buckeye State. This combination of chocolate and peanut butter, you would have said that it was a Reese's peanut butter cup, is
It's basically
made to look like the fruit from the Buckeye tree. Enjoying this Buckeye has an wait a minute. Enjoy this Buckeye as an afternoon snack because it's never too early for dessert. What were you saying, dear?
it's basically a peanut butter ball
It's
dipped in chocolate.
yeah, it's basically a peanut butter ball dipped in chocolate. So there you have it. I mean, it does look like a Buckeye nut. I actually looked those up the other day when we were discussing this, and it does indeed. The candy does look like the nut. Number 36 is Oklahoma, and its dessert of choice is pecan, not pecan, but pecan pie. Hazlet Fields probably didn't imagine her pecan pie recipe becoming so popular that it would eventually be sold in grocery stores throughout Oklahoma and other surrounding states. Her pecan pie, better known as Fields Pie, has become such a huge hit in the Sooner State that most tend to associate this dessert with being the official dessert of Oklahoma. So I guess if you're a Sooner, sooner or later, you're going to try Mrs. Fields' pie. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was an attempt at a bad joke. uh, Number 37 is Oregon, and I have never heard of this. I've never even heard of this berry. Oh my God, I just made a joke, another joke, without even trying. The Marionberry, not to be confused with the former mayor of DC, I believe it was. Yes, the Marionberry. According to NPR, since the state of Oregon grows approximately 33 million pounds of marionberries each year, the official state pie of Oregon is naturally marionberry pie. This dessert is so popular in the state that it is considered a traditional comfort food. Again, I've never, other than the former DC mayor, I've never heard of Marion Berries. So if you know of anything about Marion Berries and you want to share it, please feel free to drop me your Marion Berry story at CelticMutt1970@gmail.com. And if you want, I will happily read that on another show. Number 38 is Pennsylvania. And in Pennsylvania, I could get down with this. The favorite dessert of the state is the chocolate chip cookie. I do love me a good chocolate chip cookie. The original Hershey's chocolate factory was founded in Lancaster, Pennsylvania in 1894, which is one of the possible explanations as to why the chocolate chip cookie is the state dessert of Pennsylvania. This type of cookie is just pure perfection, from the crispy outer edges to the delicious chocolate chips. Your taste buds will be doing a happy dance with each bite. I do enjoy a good chocolate chip cookie. Even occasionally, I like to put uh, nuts in my chocolate chip cookies, um, with a good cold glass of chocolate, or excuse me, a good cold glass of milk, not chocolate milk, but regular milk. Number 39 is Rhode Island, and in Rhode Island, it's coconut custard pie. A lot of coconut in colder places that I would not think would be, it would be conducive to growing them. But hey, some residents of Rhode Island are probably aware that this unforgettable pie, wait a minute, some residents of Rhode Island are probably aware of this unforgettable pie due to Wayland Bakery making it a hit. This pie is the perfect combination of coconut, custard, eggs, egg whites, eggs, white sugar, vanilla extract, and other ingredients. Okay, I have been up and down many spice aisles in grocery stores, and never have I seen one labeled many ingredients or other ingredients. If anybody knows what other ingredients, where I can find other ingredients as a singular package, let me know. Number 40 is South Carolina, which is buttermilk pie. I've heard of buttermilk biscuits. I've never heard of buttermilk pie. This could be interesting. Oh, look, Mrs. Mutt did join the chat. Hi. Buttermilk pie is known as a Southern delicacy. You can find this dessert being served in different states across the South Carolina. Wait a minute. In different cafes. I'm sorry, across South Carolina. I do apologize. Such as Buttermilk Sky Pie Shop. Try making this recipe to satisfy your buttermilk pie craving and eat it with a big scoop of whipped cream. Number 41 is South Dakota, and that's Cochin. I've never heard of Cochin until this particular show when we were doing the research for it. Cochin is the German word for cake. And this particular recipe is well known in South Dakota due to roughly 40% of their population being German. Traditionally, this is a German a German dough pie that has been made with custard and certain fruity fillings. While recipe creator Sherry 15 used peaches in her dish, you can try another fruit like apple or plum or in my case, it would be cherry. Um, as I told you all last week, I do love anything with cherry in it, just about. Number 42 is Tennessee. And in Tennessee, and I gotta give them this, and I need to know in the chat, um, do you prefer your banana pudding, because that is what Tennessee's dessert is banana pudding. Do you prefer it warm, or do you prefer it cold, or just at room temperature? Me personally, I love my banana pudding warm. I love a good piece of warm banana pudding. Did you know that the town of Centerville, Tennessee holds a national banana pudding festival each year? With that fact alone, we feel that this dessert has rightly earned the title of the official state dessert of Tennessee. Number 43 is Texas. And in Texas, it's pecan pie. Again, it's not pecan, it is pecan. Pecan pie. I don't know why I would have thought it would have been something else, but apparently it's pecan. According to Texas Monthly Magazine, Texas produces around 60 million pounds of pecans each year, and its state tree is the pecan tree. So it's no surprise that the state's dessert is also the yummy pecan pie. So there you have it, folks. You learned something else new. Not only is their state dessert pecan pie, but their state tree, much like Virginia's is the dogwood, Texas, apparently, their state tree is the pecan tree. Number 44, I think Utah cheated on this personally, but that's my personal opinion. But their dessert is Jell-O. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the good old-fashioned Jell-O, the hospital standard. Utah consumes more Jell-O than any other state in the U.S., and this dessert doesn't have just one layer, but 7 layers of fruit-flavored Jell-O. Each time you eat 1 cube of this Jell-O, you'll be tasting a rainbow of fruit. I wonder if it tastes. So does that mean that Jell-O tastes like Lucky Charms? I'm curious. I could make a couple of other jokes, but I'm going to refrain from comment. But yeah, apparently they use different flavors of Jell-O, combine them, and turn them into a cubed dessert. Number 45 is Vermont. And in Vermont, the dessert is apple pie. I knew there was something about Vermont I liked. I've only been there maybe twice ever, but yes, Vermont. I commend you for your apple pie. Vermont produces more than 40 million pounds of apples annually, making classic apple pie a popular dessert in the state. With more than 10,000 people giving this recipe a 5-star rating, there's no second guessing the popularity of this classic American dessert. Wow. I will say that I enjoy a good piece of apple pie. When I lived in New Hampshire, we would go apple picking, and we would pick like 5 different types of apples to make apple pie with. If you want to know what those 5 are, hit me up in my email that I gave earlier, and I'll tell you what those 5 apples were. And number 46, my home state of Virginia, and it makes sense, is peanut butter pie. For those of you who don't know, the Planters factory was here for decades. And so it makes perfect sense that we had peanut butter pie. While the state pie of Virginia is actually peanut pie, this variation is a wonderful, creamy ode to the pie, which is served at the very popular Virginia Diner, and along with Mississippi, Oklahoma, Arkansas, New Mexico, Louisiana, and Missouri, Virginia produces over 8% of the total peanut crop in the United States. So if you have a peanut allergy, do not come during peanut picking season. Just don't do it. It's not. Just don't. Nope. Number 47, the state of Washington, and their dessert is the Nanimo bar. Nanimo, Nanaimo, Nanimo bars. I again never heard of these until I started reading through this, but a Nanimo bar is a graham cracker crust on the bottom, vanilla custard filled in the middle, and a semi-sweet chocolate top make up this bar. This delicious dessert gets its name from the city of Nanaimo, which is located in the western Canadian province of British Columbia. And since part of Washington borders Canada, this scrumptious dessert has easily found its way into the state. So there you have it, folks, the Nanimo bar. Number 48 is West Virginia, and its dessert is blackberry pie. And I will say that the picture that I'm looking at of this pie looks delicious, absolutely fantastic. Since blackberries can be found almost anywhere in West Virginia, it's no wonder, it's no surprise, that one popular dessert in West Virginia is the blackberry cake recipe. Creator Allison S.F. mentions that this particular cake is delicious at any time of the year. Now, see, they say that it's, they said it was the blackberry cake in the article, but the title tells me it's blackberry pie. So which is it? Is it blackberry pie or blackberry cake? I'm confused. It left this podcaster confused. You've got two different things there, according to the article. Number 49, Wisconsin cream puff. I could go so many places with that, but I will behave.
There is a restaurant.
Come here. Mrs. Mutt wants to chime in on this because she has lived in Wisconsin. Go ahead.
There is a restaurant halfway between Beloit and Milwaukee on I-43 in, I want to say Johnson. It's either Johnson or Johnson City, I want to say. Johnson. Known as the Pinecone Restaurant, that is known for their cream puffs.
Yay, cream puffs.
Love cream puffs. As a matter of fact, I have recently asked a family member for a recipe for a cream puff cake.
But they make cream puff cake?
Yes, basically it's the pâte à choux, which is the shell of the cream puff, but instead of it being the case, it is laid in the bottom of your pan and baked. So it ends up being all
Like a
bubbly
wave?
and yeah.
Gotcha.
And then you put your filling on top of that and then cover it with your whipped cream and drizzle it with your chocolate syrup.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that does actually sound really good. Mrs. Mutt took everybody give her a hand. She took a study break to bring us that piece of information on the cream puff and has since gone back to her books. By the way, let it be known that I am extremely proud of my wife for going back to college to get her degree. She has been told a dozen times or more, but I wanted to publicly state how proud I am of my wife. But back to the last dessert on this list, number 50 is Wyoming. And in Wyoming, their dessert is the cowboy cookie. And I'm not even going to tell you what this cookie looks like. When I first looked at it, I don't know if it was the picture or what. I would not have thought cowboy cookie. I would have thought buffalo chip. But, just saying. That was the picture. Anyway, what they say about the cowboy cookie is, with Wyoming being nicknamed as the cowboy state, cowboy cookies are the perfect dessert for it. If you're wondering what they taste like, they're like a mix between a chocolate chip cookie and an oatmeal cookie. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your Wyoming cowboy cookie is somebody was making chocolate chip cookies, had a cup or two apparently of oatmeal laying around, and they mixed it in, and now we have what is known as the cowboy cookie. Those are the 50 desserts of each state and with their popularity. Some of these I would absolutely love to try, while others you couldn't pay me to try them. I guess I'm funny about my desserts as well. So there you have it, ladies and gents. We have covered all 50 states. And I have nothing more to bring to the table with the desserts, other than to say I'm probably most partial to anything with chocolate, cherry, or an apple pie. I'm going to try and see if Mrs. Mutt will pop her head back in here, and maybe we can put our heads together to come up with an idea for next week's show. To be honest, with her getting ready for school, we had not even thought about it this week. Any suggestions, dear?
Not at the moment. I am currently struggling to try to get my keyboard to...
She's having technical issues with her school keyboard, so we will let her continue with that. And I will announce later in the week what next week's show will be. So look for that. Today is Wednesday. Look for that by Friday afternoon. I will do a special video letting you all know what either I decide or what Mrs. Mutt and I decide to do together. Till then, I hope you all have enjoyed this. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Lucky Melinda. Been listening, been interesting, and yummy. Good luck with your studies, Mrs. Mutt.
Stepping in. I have to reboot.
Okay, she's gonna pop back in. Lucky Melinda, any suggestions for next week's show? I'm game. I will be honest.
Thank you, Lucky Melinda.
It completely slipped my mind with everything we got going on.
And yet I asked.
Yes, she did ask me earlier today, and it still slipped my mind. I am guilty as charged on that. We're also getting things ready for our vow renewal in May.
You know.
So there's been that as well.
Speaking.
No suggestions. Sorry. No worries, Lucky Melinda. See me. I didn't have anything either, to be honest. There's a lot of things out there. But my mind has gone in so many different directions. Yes, dear.
Valentine's is right around the corner.
Yep.
We are. Yes, it's a vow renewal, but it's essentially a wedding all over again.
Yep.
We could look at wedding traditions.
Okay. You want to do that? You want to do wedding traditions like jumping the broom and that sort of thing?
We could do that.
Yeah. Okay.
If that's agreeable.
I'm game. I'm game with that. Actually, that does. I know that there are some traditions in different parts of the country. So yeah, I think that might make for an interesting topic. So next week will be wedding traditions. So if you have any that you know of, please feel free to drop me an email, or drop one of us an email,
or if you've got us on. I've got a few people on Facebook, for example. Send a message.
Yep, send us a message either through email or on Facebook. I know there are several of you who have one or the other of us on our Facebook. We are more than willing to mention anything that you send out.
Or if you know one that you're curious.
Yeah, that's a good point. If there's a tradition that you've heard about in the past that you're curious about, let us know. We'll look it up and see what we can find. So good job, babe. Good job on that last minute on the fly suggestion. Normally we're a little better prepared. We do try. Things have been a little bit hectic this week with getting stuff ready for the wedding and her starting school. So there's that. So look forward to hearing from you all on any traditions that you may be curious about. And feel free to join us next week, same bat time, same bat channel, for our show on wedding traditions. And I'm going to, since she's right here taking a study break, going to give Mrs. Mutt the final word.
Have fun storming the castle.
Take care, folks.